what is up there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of The Evolve. How you guys doing on it? I'm doing alright. Man, I'm glad to be back. Yo, it is midnight here. I'm surprised there's so many of y'all up in here. It's like 1 in the morning for me right now, and I'm in Texas, so it's good to see y'all. Y'all might as well grab your popcorn and whatnot because this is gonna be a long one. This is a super interesting one. And you Royce fans, you Royce fans, y'all gonna be super proud of your boy. Recently, Royce the 5'9", he was on a call in the Clubhouse app where you can have like 100 people on one call and everybody's talking in the chat, and you can put people in the audience to listen in on the chat, and you can bring people on the stage to be a actual talking member. But anyway, so you had Royce the 5'9", and you had Dave Mays, who is the owner, the creator, the founder of the Source Magazine, Bazzino. So yeah, Bazzino was a partner. He then brought in Bazzino and they ran it. But Dave Mays, the actual owner, is there with Royce the 5'9", and also you had a lot of other characters in there too. All of these people were in there, but the main ones that we're talking about on today, because they got involved, things got really crazy, and Mr. Dave Mays had a lot to say about him. You know, they're still trying to cancel him, but he exposed some things about this black girlfriend and their research and his relationship with Bazzino, and also, but let's just get right into it, because we're going to be talking about, there's also someone that does a lot of talking. His name is this guy here, and his name is Mike Mouse Jones. I said, I was that Mike Jones. No, it was Mice Jones. God, what is the BET? He hosts the, is it Trap Karaoke? Yeah, he's a big time host. BET Network, Trap Karaoke. He does something else, something The Girls Next Door or something, podcast. He's a big time podcaster. He's a producer. But anyway, he had a lot to say. Actually, let's start off with him because he starts this whole thing off. I want you all to get an idea of where he's coming from and where he stands. So I'm going to play this first clip and him talking about Larry Bird and who he would choose, and how he would never choose Larry Bird, who was an amazing basketball player, but he was white. So listen what Mouse had to say.
Saying that.
I didn't say that.
What this nigga Mouse had bad to say about Larry Bird, man?
I didn't say nothing.
He had a lot
bad
to say bad about Larry Bird. The nigga said he'd take Tim Hardaway over Larry Bird. He said that out of his mouth.
Yeah, I know. I did say
basketball wasn't created in these hoods by black and Latino, people in the struggle either.
I always bet on black. So yeah, if it's Larry Bird or a black guy, I'm taking the black guy.
Well, it depends on the black guy, right? You wouldn't take Larry.
No, it doesn't matter.
So you're gonna take Larry? You gonna take me over Larry Bird?
Take Samaki Walker over Larry Bird? Parker over Larry Bird.
I'm taking any black man over Larry Bird.
Okay.
How?
Okay.
What about with Deontay Wilder?
Win?
Would you take?
So yeah, we lay that foundation. You all already see where Mr. Mouse is going to stand. He's going to be doing a lot of talking throughout this podcast, so you guys need it. I want to lay the foundation. So then they go on to talk about, I think Dave Mays come in, but Mouse is still talking about, now they talk about how Eminem is a part of this machine. And Mouse do give Royce his cred. He said, Royce, you are better than Eminem. I've always thought you were better than him. It's just that Eminem had this machine behind him. If you had the machine behind you, then you would get the hype. You would be doing the billions across the world, and everybody will be calling you the rap god. Let's play that clip.
If we all listen, if that nigga did not have all that he had behind him, and all you could judge him on is just rapping ability, we wouldn't be talking about this nigga, son. Like, and it's gonna sound weird because Royce is on the stage, but I said this shit yesterday when Royce wasn't here. He's never been better than Royce. You can go back to 2 projects where the nigga smokes, where Royce smokes him every record, but we don't talk about Royce the same way. Royce isn't heralded the same way that mediocre white boy is heralded, and that shit's crazy to me.
He's not mediocre.
So what do you think Royce is going to respond with that? He gave, Mouse said 2 things. You're better than M, and M has the machine. So let's listen to what Royce had to say.
I think it take more than just rapping ability, though.
Exactly. Tell this nigga, Royce. No, it takes.
to reach
You got to make songs.
certain levels in music shit. Like all of those things that y'all are talking about, they all like the machine and all of that. Having the machine behind you, you need that in order to reach a certain level.
Nobody would have been able to do what M did, man. You know what I'm saying? Period.
And nobody did.
Okay, so now Mr. Source Magazine himself, he jumps in on the conversation, and it's a little funny right now what you're about to hear, because the way he comes in on the conversation, he comes in huffing and puffing. He hated, they said something, but he hated what they said, and he was like, oh, for sakes. And he's a white guy. And then Royce calls him out like, hey, what's your problem? You didn't like that. Man, let's listen.
Nobody did it still. All these other white boys come on rapping, ain't none of them you got close to that nigga. They can't sniff that nigga motherfucking heel of his shoe, dog.
M was a real fan of the culture, man. He came up in hip hop, feeling that stuff, man.
Oh, brother.
From record.
Oh, fucking brother.
Dave, you don't seem like you fucking with that.
Which part?
Well, first of all, before we like Eminem, I know you say Eminem got a machine, but Eminem is definitely
Who the fuck don't got? But which rapper we talking about don't have a machine?
They all got a machine. What I'm saying is, you can, if you listen to rap and you love hip hop, you gotta come real with the fact
machine
that Eminem is a super talented rapper.
The machine was developed and fine-tuned to take the control of hip hop from the community and from the people. Okay, there was always, payola and shit like that in the music industry, but they couldn't control hip hop. Hip hop was controlled by the streets from the 70s, 80s, and throughout the 90s. This shit had to be stamped by the streets in order to become mainstream successful. If you didn't get stamped by the streets, yeah, maybe you come in and out like Vanilla Ice or something like that. You're in and out of there, boom. But the machine and the way they sold up radio, the way they did different things, and the way they used Eminem to take that white audience and start to divert them away from the audience that had been supporting black artists and black hip hop is what I'm talking about when I talk about the machine and all the different factors that came into play surrounding him. And yes, he's talented, but at the same time, I can agree with what Mouse is saying. Yeah, he's talented. He's a great rapper and lyricist, but there's many great rappers and lyricists, and to say that the fact that he was white wasn't a huge part of what made him successful.
I don't think anybody's ever said that.
Nobody said that.
Nobody has said that here.
Okay. Well,
so you think that?
So let me just break down what he just said, so to help you understand. So basically, he said that, you see, Eminem was a part of this machine. Now, he see the machine as in more of a negative way. He see the machine as more of a takeover. The machines are taking over. He believed that the machine, I guess white America implemented, they wanted rap, they wanted the black, they wanted hip hop, and they needed to take it from the blacks. So the machine used Eminem, and they planted him inside of hip hop to, gain control, because they would have the numbers, because Eminem would be the highest selling, and he would embed and plant his very fingerprints of white nation in hip hop, bringing millions and billions of white fans. Thus, white America would own it because they control the money, they control the fandom, and now they have this hip hop. That's what the machine did with M. He goes on in this next part, Dave Mays, owner of Source, he goes on to say, to talk about how it's not the fact that M is inside of hip hop, it's the fact that, because, that's what it is. Royce calls him out. He's like, okay, wait, so you can be a white guy and own the Source in hip hop, but you have a problem with Eminem rapping in hip hop? So then Dave Mays is like, it's not the problem that he don't rap. See, the difference with me is that you know, I respect the culture. I know where I come from. I know it's from the black, and I know my place. Let's listen.
I don't mind
Big
it.
part of it is looking at the impact of what his impact was on how hip hop changed afterwards. So it's not personalized so much against him. You know, it's what the impact of how it was used to divert the audiences and change the course and the direction of hip hop and the control of hip hop. Okay, so that's something we're not really talking about. You know, he helped create this safe space for white people in hip hop that still exists to this day. You know, all throughout the media, all throughout. You know, to me, what made me different, in my opinion, and what, you know, and made the source different as the person who created the source, is my understanding as a white person in hip hop. It wasn't that I couldn't be white and be in hip hop, but I had to understand that hip hop comes from the streets. I had to understand what comes with that, and I had to, you know, keep that my, you know, kind of first and foremost at all times, even as I'm building a multi-million-dollar corporation, and understanding that those two things, as hard as it might be, you have to try to keep, you know, balance those two things.
So are you implying that Marshall didn't do that with his career?
I'm
saying
implying
he didn't do that until after he was exposed. There's no record
exposed as what? What do you mean?
What?
Well, once.
Okay, so now things are about to start to get a little bit heated between Dave Mays, ex-Source guy, and Royce, because now they're getting on the black girl, and black girls are bees, man. Yeah, guys, our black rappers say a lot more horrible things nowadays about black girls and about black women. But anyway, that's besides the point. They get in a little back and forth now, and I'll let you guys hear that. Let's just play.
There's no record
exposed as what? What do you mean?
What?
Well, once the racist, you know, songs and stuff came out, that's when
Y'all went and found those songs.
No,
They still
y'all
existed.
went and got those songs.
His
But
people
they
drove.
existed.
Just to make sure everything's clear. His people, the people that he started rapping with, the white people that he grew up with before he was hanging around black people, who he made the racist rap hour with, they came from Detroit with the tape, okay, up to my office and played the shit for me with a whole bunch of shit, including the pieces that got released. So we didn't go looking for those. His people brought those songs up to us.
Right. Okay. So you talking about some tapes they made when he was 16 years old. You acting like he made those songs and released them within the culture, like
It
he's
don't
running the
matter.
culture.
The songs exist.
Listen.
Wait, so can I just ask one question?
But
So are
real
you
quick,
saying
how
that
many other times did the source run a hit piece on a rapper besides that? There was clearly
First of all, look,
because all the white boys said nigga, all the white boys got nigga videos. Why y'all ain't exposing those? All the white boys got nigga videos. Go look on YouTube.
Let's expose
Dave, you probably got
Justin Bieber had one. Justin Bieber had one.
Wait, Dave, I'm just trying to understand one thing.
Fuck out of here with that.
Can I ask one question? Is Dave, are you saying that he started to align himself with black artists once y'all put that movie up?
No, not align with black artists, but talk publicly in a more pro-black kind of and pro-hip-hop position than he ever had before. He was aligned with black artists. That was part of the marketing strategy for him. We're going to make him from Detroit, the Black City. We're going to line him with Dr. Dre.
Because that's where he's from. That's where he's from.
I can actually I knew him before there was ever a Dre meeting. I used to see him around New York, stalking the Royce offices. Like that was I don't see the correlation.
So yeah, Dave Mays, he is now pushing, he's pushing the narrative that Eminem, he did not start liking black people and didn't start really getting involved in the culture and being about black people until he got exposed. That's what he's pushing now. So now, also, what you're about to hear, Dave Mays, he gets into the whole black girl tape. And I want you guys to listen to this. Because, well, it's a fallacy, so to speak. And I'll speak on it after I play this, but he speaks on how the black girl story that Eminem came up with was just publicity and it was fake. There was no black girl. He was just trying to cover up that song.
Eminem was like whatever, about 18 years old, 19 years
16,
old.
dog. 16.
He wasn't
16.
16.
Don't
There
twist
was
it.
no, do you know the
Don't
black
twist it.
girlfriend? There was no black girlfriend. That was a lie that was made up to make it seem to justify that song where he called black women bitches. There was no black girlfriend. You're gonna sit here and tell me there was a black girlfriend?
How do you know that to be true?
How do you know it to be
you
true?
saying, am I
How
gonna
do
sit
you
here and
know it
tell
to
you
be
something?
true?
You talking
What's
to
her
somebody that's
name?
friends
Where's
with him.
she
You don't
at?
know him.
Do you know that to be true? I'm asking you. Just
I
like
don't know. I don't know nothing about way back then. I know
Okay,
I've been on tour with him.
okay.
I know
Thank
I've been
you.
on tour with him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so are you asking me if he's fucked
No,
black
I'm
girls?
asking you, did
Is
he
that
have
what
a
you asking
black
me?
girlfriend when he was 16 that broke up with him, and that's why he
I
wrote that
didn't know him when
song?
he was 16, brother. I don't know.
No,
I didn't know
that's
him when he was
not
16,
why.
so I don't
But
know.
that was the reason that was given in the prepared statement that was put out.
Who
trying to-
cares? Who cares? Why do you
The
care
only
about
reason
that?
anybody cares is because
What kind of girlfriend did Post Malone have when he was 16? Why you don't care about
Post
that?
Malone. I don't give a fuck about Post Malone. What's that got to do with Post Malone? Is what I'm talking about. The reason Post Malone exists and it has the level of success that he has is because not just of Eminem, but the impact of Eminem. How Eminem was used by the machine and these companies, these corporations, to change the market of hip hop and allow them to control.
So you think Post Malone's presence in the culture is a bad thing? You think that's a bad thing for the culture?
I do.
I really don't really fuck with Post Malone from what I've listened to a lot of his shit. From what I've seen of him.
Yo, one mic, guys. One
He
mic.
seems like
One
a Kid
mic.
Rock type of dude to me.
No, he's not a Kid Rock type of dude, bro. He's not. He's not.
They did it with the Beastie Boys way before that.
But look, check this out. Check this out. This is what I'm saying. You see, this Dave Mays, he's arguing in the negative. Royce is in the right. Royce don't have to prove that Eminem was telling the truth. See, this is a logical fallacy in which the argumenter or the debater is trying to make you argue their negative. If I tell you that, hey, yo, guys, I went to church and the pastor did a front flip, it was lit. And then you be like, no, he didn't, and no, you didn't. So you are arguing the negative about what I said. You're trying to say it's false, the negative. So it's not my job to prove. It's not my job. The burden of proof is not on me. I don't have to prove myself. You're the one that say, I just told you my story. So if you don't believe in it, if you got another story, then it's your job to prove your own story about mine. Did you prove? I don't have to prove you're negative. I don't have to speak on that. The burden of proof is on you. And that's the thing. If it's not Dave Mason can't come back and say, okay, you proved that he seen a black girl or that black girl. No, Dave, if you're saying that it's not true, the burden of proof is on you. You brought forth the negative. Now, what is the proof for your negative? Because he's just telling you his story and what happened, a historical event. It is a elementary tactic. It is a logical fallacy, but don't get caught up in that. But anyway, let's go on. I think I've got one more clip. I think I got one more. Oh man, this is the last clip, people. Oh my goodness. Royce the 5'9", I don't know, threatened him with death, kicks him out the chat, and something about he's gonna bring death at his doorstep. Dave Mays Embassy. Let's play the clip.
And how I am.
Now, and that's how we
bigger
fuck
than
with
that
him the
is-
same way, Dave.
What I'm saying is
we
that
fuck with, just like we fuck with you, Dave, we fuck with him the same way. Y'all the same motherfucker.
we're not the same.
Now
Y'all
that
the
You
same.
got that right, bro.
Okay.
You got that
Y'all
right.
motherfuckers
You got that
the
right.
same.
We are definitely not the same.
Y'all
You
the
got that
same.
right. Y'all ain't the same.
I
the
don't
same.
have none of that in my history. And what I've done
listen,
as far as
we-
fucking with the
Dave.
streets and as far as fucking with authenticity in hip hop is documented. Okay, there's
Man, you fuck with
people.
Benzino. You don't fuck with no authenticity. I'm
I
gonna
don't
kick your
fuck
ass
with
to the crowd,
Benzino.
motherfucker. Get the fuck
I
out.
haven't fucked with Benzino for 5 years. Number one.
Worse.
You fuck with
Okay.
cornballs.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I know it's okay.
Okay. You sound like a cornball.
Is there popcorn?
All right, enough of Dave Mays. He can go back to the audience. Go ahead. Who else want to talk now?
Where's the
Fuck out of here,
popcorn
motherfucker.
emoji for this?
Hey, yo, Royce. Yo, Royce.
Fuck you talking to, nigga. I'll put death on your doorstep, nigga. Fuck you talking to.
Jeez.
Whoa,
Look at
yeah.
all this divisiveness
This
Eminem
guy's
is
gonna pull
causing.
out
Ain't no
the rocket
divisiveness.
launcher.
I ain't divided. I'm not one with Dave Mays, nigga. Let's get this shit straight, man. Y'all niggas in here acting like this motherfucker at the cookout or something. Get the fuck out of here, man.
He keeps talking about that
But
tape, man. Let the tape go,
Anyway, what I said when I say it's bigger is that hip hop is a multi-billion-dollar
So there you go. I don't know. That escalated real quick. Oh man. I like to know what y'all think, man. If you stuck around for this long, man, you might as well subscribe. Subscribe if you haven't. I thank you guys for watching. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. I will see you all in the morning in the next episode. I'm gonna get a few hours of sleep, and I'll be right back for your face, man. As always, KIP, keep it positive. I'll see you guys.